So we are now here at Neuschwanstein Castle. You can see the ice crystals floating around me. And in the background you can see the light pillars there. Well, I have some sad news regarding my Schloss Neuschwanstein adventure. Well, I still managed to get my photos that day, but let's see how I made that possible. It's now in the middle of the night and I'm on my way to Neuschwanstein Castle in the south of Germany, because right now it's really freezing here in Germany, and here it's clear skies, but in southern Germany there we have plenty of fog, and the Neuschwanstein Castle will be exactly at the height of the fog, or even better, in the morning it will come out of the fog, and there's really much hoarfrost all around the castle right now, and I really hope it works out, because for the last 2 days Neuschwanstein Castle was exactly inside of the fog layer, so we had over 48 hours for the hoarfrost to stick onto the trees around the castle, which makes for a beautiful winter landscape. And as you can see, we have really much freezing temperatures already here, which is perfectly fine. And now I have to get my car a little bit cleaned so that we can drive 4 hours to the south of Germany, and I really hope my photo idea works out. So my drive today will be quite long. I'm traveling 4 hours from my location here in the center of Germany all the way down to southern Germany, right into Allgäu. And you can see that the castle Neuschwanstein is located quite near the town of Füssen. And you can see location of the castle. It is located around between 900 and 1000 meters here on this mountaintop. The idea is that the castle in the meantime will be totally covered in hard rime, so it should be a really nice winterly landscape. And I know this because when I check the weather maps, I go to weather.us, I go to the forecast, and then for Europe I normally choose the icon D2 weather model. Because this is the quite nice weather model, is from the German Weather Service, and it's the best one you can get in center of Europe to forecast everything related to that area. And I click on Bavaria, and now I click here to get in the right area. You can now see here is Füssen. This is the town, and the castle Neuschwanstein is somewhere located here in this boundary, where you can see a temperature between 35 and 24 degrees Fahrenheit. So in this temperature difference, I can see that I have a typical situation, which is called an inversion, where there's warmer air on top and down in the valleys there's cold air. You can see if I change to the topographic map here on Google Maps, here on the north side of Füssen there's flat and hilly landscapes, and directly east of Neuschwanstein Castle there are here high mountain tops, and this is the situation I can find here in the weather maps, because this warmer area here, those are the mountain tops sticking outside over the inversion layer. And if I change now to the clouds here on the left, I just choose low cloud cover, and I see now this is the forecast for 1 p.m. CST. So this is right now in Germany around 7 p.m. in the evening. This is the map for right now. You can see here is Füssen, and here is a hard edge for the forecasted low clouds. This is because the mountaintops in that area, they are above this forecasted fog layer here. And right now the castle itself is still inside the fog. I can prove this with the webcams. I switched to windy.com. This is where I always look up my webcams. Only the webcams, never use it for weather data. And there's a quite nice webcam here. And if I go to the website where this webcam originates from, I can see the marking of Neuschwanstein Castle It's a little bit off. The castle itself is somewhere here, and now this, because I looked it up before. And you can see there's a fog layer, and you don't see the castle sticking out of the fog. But I can change the time here, and if I go back some hours in the morning where the fog layer was quite low, or the evening hours, I can show you at some place here. There it is. This is the castle Neuschwanstein here. This is the location of it. And so I can see with this webcam exactly how high the fog layer is right now. And I go back to the weather maps and I now look up the forecast in the morning. So I switch the times, and you can see when I click through the weather maps with the time we're reaching the morning, the fog disappears. This means the fog layer will go down. And this is the perfect thing that can happen, because right now the castle is located inside of the fog with temperatures below 0 degrees Celsius. So there will be freezing fog, and we will find hard rime in the morning. I now arrived at the bottom of Neuschwanstein Castle, and it's -9 degrees outside. You can see it here. It's really, really cold. And this is fucking awesome, because outside there's so much fog, and there's ice fog, which means that there's not water droplets. It's solid frozen ice, and now we can go outside and do ice halo photos. I'm now in front of my car, because you can see I'm surrounded by the ice fog. You can see the ice crystals floating around me, and I'm now using my car headlights to generate an ice halo. And I can just do this if I step a few feet back from my car. So as I now walk away from my car, you will start seeing in my back these light pillars appear over my head. Here you can see, you can start seeing them. It's now here on my head. Those are the light pillars. This is like the first effect of halos you can see when you have ice fog outside. So I now need to cover the headlights of my car, and then you can see the light pillars going up from the headlights. And yeah, there's a little other halo over my fingers up there, which is really, really nice. Yeah, and remember, this is just for my headlights in the car. And also you can see there, this is really, really awesome hoarfrost here on the trees already. Just look at it, it's absolutely awesome. This is like, I guess, around 1 centimeter of hoarfrost in flat lands. This is so seldom. I never saw it in Germany all the years I did already weather photography. So this is some really, really special event, because you need at least 48 or 72 hours of constant ice fog around this location to get so much hoarfrost. And I'm so hyped to go up to the castle and shoot this situation here right now. So I now found some more light pillars. It's a really nice example. You can see them right behind me. So every one of those city lights has a single light pillar on top of it, because I'm right now in the middle of the ice fog again. And this is so awesome, because just look at it. In the ice fog, the frozen water forms hexagonal ice crystals, and those tiny small ice crystals you saw floating around me before, they form those nice light pillars right there, because every single ice crystal is reflecting the light from those light bulbs down here into my direction, and this gives us this effect of light beams in the skies. Absolutely fantastic. And now put my camera to action. It's such a nice scene. You can see in the foreground floating all the ice crystals. In the background you can see the light pillars there, and I now put on my Sony 14 millimeters, and I now got like something like this composition right now here. And yeah, the scene is totally unreal. And what I did now is I did an HDR image to get out all the lights, and also I placed myself in the middle to have a subject in the photo. So we'll now put my camera gear back into the car because I need to get some sleep before walking up to Neuschwanstein Castle. And yeah, too much stuff in the car. So it's now 15 minutes past 6 in the morning. I got a premium sleep of 2 hours on my driver's seat, and I'm now ready to go up to the castle Neuschwanstein. But before I do, I will check again the weather data, if the fog layer height is in the perfect position for me to shoot Neuschwanstein Castle directly over the fog, because right now if I look outside there is fog, but I don't know which height it has, so I have to check it. I'm using the webcam on Mountain Falkenstein, and you can see there somewhere is the castle Neuschwanstein. This one here in the middle, this is the castle sticking out at perfectly height over the fog. So, and if I go back into the past image, I can see that this is actually the castle, and I can see the fog height is perfectly holding around the height of the castle. So this is the perfect condition, and this is exactly what I wanted to have. There's nothing better to get in this location, and I'm so happy for it, and I hope that the fog layer will hold. I now paid a fortune for the parking lot because, yeah, 12 euros for the time spending here. It's so expensive, but I'm finally now on my way up to Neuschwanstein Castle, and yeah, it looks pretty decent because right now there's a little bit clear skies. You can see there's some fog still around, but now there are stars over my head, so it's a thin layer of fog for light to break through perfectly. The landscape here now is absolutely magical. You can see no one around except of my camera girl, but yeah, this is what to expect to be the Hoarfrost around the castle later at sunrise and blue hour. Look at it perfectly. So we are now here at Neuschwanstein Castle, and you can see everything is coated in hoarfrost, and it's even more hoarfrost than it is down in the valley. So it's around 2 to 3 centimeters thick on the trees. It's perfectly, because the big difference to a normal snow landscape is that when it's just snowing, the snow won't stay on the fine branches of the trees, but the hoarfrost will stay on the fine branches, and so it's much better to have this hoarfrost landscape compared to a normal winter landscape with snow. Well, I have some sad news regarding my Schloss Neuschwanstein adventure, because there's the bridge where I wanted to go is closed because of the weather, because normal tourists will fall with 3 centimeters of snow, and hence I couldn't go there. And now it's not still sunrise, and also it takes until 10 in the morning until the light actually hits this valley here down from the castle, and therefore I will now find me something else to shoot, and now walking down again, which is pretty sad because really nice conditions here, but yeah, we'll find an alternative. I managed to capture some drone photos, which I think are legally made because I looked it up before in my drone app, and the only problem was that I'm not allowed to start the drone on any parts of the property of Neuschwanstein Castle, because they can forbid me to start my drone. Also, there's some environmental protection area nearby where I couldn't fly my drone either, but I managed to find a spot in the forest, which isn't private ground, to start my drone near the castle and then fly around the castle in line of sight and to stay within German law. Afterwards I went downhill and also visited the close by castle Hohenschwangau. There's a parking lot where I could start my drone and keep it in line of sight to take my photos and not violate any private grounds. So now I found spontaneously this absolutely wonderful scene here behind me, and I can legally fly in the drone also. It's perfectly. It's so covered in hoarfrost. It's absolutely nice. And my idea now is that I get some of those trees into a nice composition to shoot them with my normal camera and also doing parallel some drone shots. So I now took my Tamron 16-30 millimeters with me to be a little bit more flexible with the zoom right now. And the idea is to get to one of those trees right here to get a nice composition with them, because they're really nicely covered in snow and it's so nice with the sun behind of it. Just look at it, Hoarfrost. This is such a stunner. Look at it perfectly. Though this is basically my composition right now with 30 millimeters. I'm shooting this, and yeah, it's an HDR image shot directly from the hand without a tripod right now, and I will go a little bit downhill right here because I want to get inside of this tree to get closer to the hoarfrost down there and to see if I could get a nice lens star within the hoarfrost there and the mountain range behind it. Okay, so I now found myself this lone tree here, and what I want to do is to have a lens star somewhere through the branches of that tree right now, because it's so nice and symmetrical. This will be a nice shot. You can see right now what happens if the sun starts hitting the hoarfrost, even if we have right now -3 degrees Celsius. It's melting away the hoarfrost from everything. It's falling off the trees right in front of me. And so, yeah, this landscape with all the hoarfrost only can exist when there's fog around, and at the moment the sun comes out, everything will fall down. You can see also on the power lines already some parts of the hoarfrost on it is missing because it fell down. And again, I'm in another location. I just drove around all of the Allgäu and southern Germany and tried to stick right to the layer of fog and followed it around to see where still fog is around and to combine it with the morning light. And now I found a location at Weißensee where I can shoot a church, a small chapel over the other side of this lake, which should be quite fine for a nice photo composition. So I set up my camera now. I got the Tamron 150-500 out, put it on my tripod because I'm doing HDR photos right now, and the church is actually somewhere over there, over the lake here. There's the church. It's really tiny, so I'm now actually really using 300 millimeters right now as a go-to focal length. And yeah, the composition I have right now is I put the church in the golden ratio, and it's pretty nice because you get like 3 layers of landscape. Here you have the church in the foreground, and then you are getting 2 hills and 1 mountain in the background. And all those hills feature those small village and typical Bavarian houses with the hoarfrost around. And now the soft morning light is right hitting the church over there pretty well, and it makes up for a nice composition. Only thing is, it's a little bit windy. The wind is pushing out the fog from the lake, and so the reflection is not too perfect, but I think it even fits it a little bit more. So also the overview of the whole lake is a quite nice composition right now, and also with the ice already here in the foreground. And what you can see there is that the mountaintop is not covered in hoarfrost. That's because the fog layer just stayed ground level and covered all the trees around the lake.